Let's talk about failure. By the way, this video was impromptu, unscripted. So for the next 10 minutes or so, this is going to be me pouring my heart and soul, every single thing I've learned over the decade on this subject. As you can see, I still have the face fully on. So failure is an event, not an identity. Most of the time, we as humans understand this concept cerebrally. Failure is an event, but we choose to identify with failure. Myself, not excluding, that sometimes I feel I see myself as a failure, not as an event. So there are various ways to perceive failure. Before we delve into those various aspects and components of the correct perception of failure, I'll quickly add, we as humans take advice in drops and give it in buckets. When your body is faced with a problem, the advice comes to you instantly. Leave that lady, you get another job, this too shall pass. Yet, faced with the same situation, you crumble under pressure. You've been doing this YouTube thing, you've been building a business, yet it's not materializing. The desired outcome is yet to come to fruition. You're discouraged, you feel like you don't want to exist. You're visualizing, you're doing the affirmation thing, yet you're not seeing the desired outcome. Every single person has been there. And in that situation, it's most likely you identify as a failure. It's most likely all the stoicism and the motivation, every single thing goes out the door. Failure. Failure is an event, not a person. You shouldn't identify with failure. One of the correct ways to perceive failure is like a learning experience. Sometimes, like a video game, you deliberately fail in order to get correct assessment of the terrain. How many of you played God of War? And this is if you have been, or if you're old enough, around God of War 1, God of War 2. Those were the times when childhood was still interesting, before the age of social media that reduced people's attention span. So God of War basically was a game, a mission game. It would challenge you cerebrally, challenge you all round. Your fighting skills, you had to upgrade weapons, you had to slay different bosses, etc. The moral of that story is there are times in a mission, confronted with a difficult boss, you deliberately allow him slay you to assess his strength. There are times you deliberately lose the game in order to win later. You lose the battle to win the war. There are times where you strike him on a certain place and you're assessing what body part takes the most damage. And in that situation, he's killing you and you're coming again, he's killing you and you're coming again. All of that failure, which looks momentarily, is to the end product of victory. So the failure is momentary. The failure is a learning process. The failure is to assess the opponent's strength as well as your weakness. To perceive failure as a learning experience. The first challenge, anytime you fail, either trading, school, boxing, assess what you did wrong, assess your opponent's strength, identify why you failed, identify why you were knocked out earlier than usual, identify the moments where you got weak. Like David Goggins about to break that push-up record. He failed twice or thrice, and the first time he failed, he assessed his weakness. He identified quickly that the pull-up bar was swinging as opposed to the stiff pull-up bar he prepared with. The second attempt, he noticed very quickly that his arms, or his palms rather, the flesh began to succumb to the rusty iron bar. The next time he came, he applied to Guinness to wear a padded glove to protect his palms, on which Guinness agreed. On the next attempt, he broke the record, the highest pull-up done in the first 24 hours. What's the moral of the story? The moral is anytime you fail, learn the lesson, assess why you failed. Do not just fail and succumb to defeat. Assess why you failed and you'll be fine. As one way to perceive failure. Another correct way to perceive failure is this idea that anything you do is most likely you would suck the first time you do it. So this flawed idea that you have to win or to get the desired outcome at first trial is abysmal, it's ridiculous. It's like trying to score a point on your first day at the court. If you've been practicing earlier, that's understandable. But for the first time you held the ball, you're trying to score a point and demean yourself, use debilitating words when you fail. Failure is inevitable. The first time you try something, there's a high percentage point that you would fail. Learn to embrace failure, especially in new activities, and you'll be fine. I really enjoyed this session with you guys. It seems we'll do more impromptu videos in the future. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, my friend, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.